What's going on, family? Grace and peace. This is your host, Javon Blue, on the Kingdom Talks podcast, where we're going to be talking about God, business, trading, manhood, marriage, and all the real stuff that's happening out there. So listen, sit back, relax, open up your Bibles, open up your notebooks, whatever you got to do, and let's get it. Sheesh, let's go. Yo, what up? What up? Grace and peace, Kingdom Talks podcast family. You already know it's your host, Javon Blue, on another episode of the Kingdom Talks podcast. And you already know I'm excited. I'm excited to be doing this because this episode, it's not going to be a long one, but it's going to be, just some quick information on different markets, right? I'm going to talk about 3 markets that you can learn how to trade, right? As a trader, as a retail trader, you can come in these markets and actually multiply your money and compound your money within these markets by learning the skill set of trading, right? So I want to break it down for, just the average person who's like, man, what is the Forex market? What's the Indices market? What is the commodity market, right? So I want to just give you guys a little knowledge, base actually, based on what it is that you're going to be getting into. Or if you haven't gotten into it, you would now be educated as to say, hey, you know what? I would actually like to trade that market. So today's episode is going to be on Forex, indices, and commodities, right? So let's start with the foreign exchange market. Right now, for those people that's like, man, I heard about Forex. I heard about the foreign exchange market. What is it? Is this new? How long has it been around? Is it profitable? Guys, let me tell you something. I believe the foreign exchange market is the oldest market out there, right? I believe it's the oldest market out there. The reason why I say that is because when we're talking about foreign exchange, I want you guys to really break down the words, right? So Forex is short for the foreign exchange market, right? So instead of saying foreign exchange, you can just say Forex. Now let's dive into that. Foreign, right? The word foreign basically means not domestic. So it's overseas, it's in another country, and different stuff like that. It's outside of a current land, right? So if I live in the United States and I wanted to go to India, that's a foreign travel, right? You're going outside of your land to do business, to do a transaction, whatever the case may be. So when we go to the other word, exchange, right? When we're talking about exchanges, exchange is just me taking one good or one product and exchanging it for something of greater value. So let's just say I have these Jordans, right? And these Jordans cost, I bought them for $250, right? But let's say, 5 years down the road, those same Jordans get some buzz. Like, I don't know, a movie done came out, Jordan probably was wearing them, whatever the case may be. And then I buy them, I sell them online for $500, right? So I just exchanged my product, which was $250 when I bought it, but I exchanged it for $500 based on the value of that current state. So when we put that together, the foreign exchange market is when you're buying and selling based off certain rates that's going up or going down. You're buying and selling internationally, right? So that is how you're making your money. So let's bring this to, the actual market. The foreign exchange market consists of the USD, the US dollar versus the Japanese yen, or the Great British Pound versus the Japanese yen, or the United States dollar versus the Canadian dollar, or you have the Swiss franc, right? Versus the United States dollar, and different stuff like that. So you can have the Great British pound versus the United States dollar. You can have the Aussie versus the United States dollar. So you're exchanging currencies and you're buying and selling based off the rate. So you're buying low and you're selling high, right? If that makes sense, you buy low and you sell high. So that is what the foreign exchange market is. And the reason why I say that it's been around for so long because people have been doing foreign exchange since the beginning of time, right? Basically, you're exchanging currency for currency, right? Now, if you know anything about money or the history of currency, it changes, right? Currency never stays the same. This is why, in our lifetime, we within the American context, we started off with, the paper money, then it was coins, then it shifted to notes, and then it shifted to we had, cards, right? And once those cards, started getting, a little whatever, we got to put chips in them now. Now you see every card has a chip in it. And now it has something else where you could just tap it. And now it has like a little signal and you don't even need to put the chip in anything. You could just tap it on something. And then we have Apple Pay, and then we have digital currency. So when you start seeing this type of stuff, family, currency is always going to evolve. So the beauty about that is back then they didn't have all of that. Right. So the Chinese were the first ones who actually started the whole paper money thing. Right. They were the first ones, I believe, who started, paper money. People got tired of sending their money in big old wagons with horses in it. Then you had to have security around it. Like if you ever look at the Wells Fargo symbol, you'll see a horse with a buggy on the back because that's how they used to travel money. So they had to think of something different because it was such a risk. So when we're talking about foreign exchange back then, they was exchanging horses, probably for grains and grains of wheat, right? Like huge bags of wheat, or they would do probably salt, exchanging salt for corn, right? Whatever the case may be, right? Exchanging oil for something else. So that was their currency, exchanging sheep for goats and all that different type of stuff. So when you start to understand that currency just evolved over time, you start to understand that everybody was basically, not everybody, but the main people of kingdoms were doing foreign exchange. They were doing foreign trade. So that's a very important thing. So we speed it up to today. The foreign exchange market is so powerful because you can literally learn at home. Like you don't need no degree. You don't need no licensing. You can become a retail trader simply by opening up a brokerage account, putting some money in, and then start buying and selling within the market, trading different currencies. Now, what I tell people all the time, I'm like, hey, listen, don't go in blind, right? You want to get coaching. You want to get education. If you want to become a doctor, don't think just because you feel like becoming a doctor that you're just going to operate on, somebody's gunshot wound if they got shot. That's not what this is. So it's the same thing with trading. If you want to learn how to trade these markets, you have to get educated, right? You got to get a course. You can get some education, buy some books, learn from somebody so you can literally learn how the market works. And when you're doing that, right, it lets yourself know that you are serious, but it gets you ready for the wins and the losses. Oftentimes, a lot of people start getting into trading, and just because they won a couple of trades, they think they know how to trade, right? But in all reality, you don't, because the worst thing that you can do far as you learning is to profit early within trading. You don't want to do that because what starts to happen is you start to get. Yo, what's going on, Kingdom family? Don't kill me. I know I just interrupted this amazing episode, but it's for a good reason. Let me ask you a question. What if you were able to learn how to turn your weekly income into your daily income? What if you were able to learn how to turn your monthly income into your weekly income? Well, guys, I've created something called Skill Sets Over Paychecks Fundamental Trading Course, where we're teaching the average person how to multiply their money within the largest financial markets in the world. So if that is you and you're like, hey, yo, Jay, I'm tired of living paycheck to paycheck. Listen, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go to www.kingdomtradingnetwork.com And I want you to select the course, learn from it, apply the information, and watch what happens to your life. I will see you guys on the remainder of the episode. Let's get it. Big-headed and you think that you know everything. But the best way to learn how to trade is, listen, get a course, start with a demo account, even get some one-on-one mentorship training with that so that you can become excellent. When I first started, I didn't have, a lot of mentorship. I didn't have all of that. What I had was a desire. So, I was on YouTube. I was looking at books. I was listening to Robert Kiyosaki trainings back then when he was doing it, different stuff like that. So that's what really got me into the learning aspect of trading. But now you see a lot of people just going in off of hype. So you don't ever want to do that. But is Forex profitable? A lot of people say, yo, is this thing really making people money? Absolutely. Right. Before it went mainstream, like 20 years ago, you had to have a net worth of about 3 million. Right. You had to have a net worth about 3 million, and you had to have about, 6 figures to put into your brokerage account in order for you to even be taken serious with that. So when we see that happening, like Wall Street was already trading Forex before it went mainstream. You guys get what I'm saying? So it's literally like a $7 trillion a day market. So you start talking about $7 trillion a day is flowing through this market on a day-to-day basis. That's a lot of money, family. That's a lot of money. And even if you got less than 1% of that, you still can be good. And this is what you want to set your mind to. You want to start gaining knowledge inside industries that have an abundance of income, right? That has an abundance of currency flowing. When you're in industries and you're in environments that only produce this amount of income, that means that your dreams can go but so far. So what really encouraged me about Forex was, the foreign exchange market is a $7 trillion a day market. That means that I'm playing in the pond of something that is basically limitless, right? It's basically limitless because we're playing with the trillions of dollars and not 6 figures, not millions, not even billions. We're playing with trillions. So this is something that you can become profitable in, and you can learn how to trade different global currencies. Because the truth of the matter is this, family. The reason why I like it over stocks is because at any moment, like, companies can shut down. You know what I'm saying? Like, Twitter can shut down tomorrow. Facebook can shut down tomorrow, or Metaverse. Coca-Cola can decide, hey, listen, we don't want to do business anymore. We're going to shut down and start something else. So you have all these companies that are ran by men, and they can shut down at any time if they feel like it. Right. But when we're talking about the foreign exchange market, the reason why I believe it is so profitable for the average person coming into the market is because you're dealing with global currency. So in order for that currency to basically stop, a country has to shut down completely. Like, a company has to be wiped off the face of the earth in order for that currency not to flourish. So when you start to understand that, when you start to look at that, it's literally a market that doesn't sleep. Like, the foreign exchange market is open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, and you're able to just go in and just dominate this market, right? Once you learn it. So that's really, a small portion of what's the foreign exchange market, what is it, and so forth and so forth. Now, let's jump into the second thing, right? Let's talk about the S&P 500, right? The S&P 500. A lot of people are like, yo, what in the world is the S&P 500? Like, is that good for me? Like, so basically what I'm talking about is indices now. So like, the S&P 500 is a very profitable thing. Now, we're talking about big boy money, right? We're talking about, it is literally trading at $4,175.20 today. Okay, cool. Right. So when you're looking at this market, let me break this down like this. Firstly, what's traded in the S&P 500 was traded in even the NASDAQ, right? Let's say the NASDAQ 100, right? when you're dealing with the S&P 500, I'm just want to share with you guys like the amount of companies that are in there, and this is why people invest in it, and this is why people trade it. So when we're talking about the S&P 500, right, this index consists of most, but not all, of the largest companies in the United States, right? So you're talking about the largest 500 companies in our country. So that can be Apple, that can be Microsoft, that can be Amazon, that can be Meta, that can be Johnson & Johnson. We're even talking about Walmart. We're talking about Disney, Verizon, Comcast, like Costco's. Like we're talking about the most profitable major 500 companies in the entire world. I mean, not the world, in our country, the United States. So when people are investing into the S&P 500, they're investing into the most profitable, performing companies within the United States. So this is why people do it long term. This is why you can put your money into the S&P 500 and use it to compound your money long term. So like 10 years, 20 years, even 40 years down the road, you can put your money in indices and really see some great return. Or you can trade it, right? So like I tell people, if you don't have a specific stock that you want to trade, you're like, man, listen, I don't know what company I should do, and different stuff like that. The S&P 500, the NASDAQ, like EFTs, I said EFT, ETFs. I got NFTs and ETFs in my mind, but ETFs, right? Which is like traded funds. Like you can trade that stuff if you don't have a specific stock that you want to trade. So, and it's a very profitable thing. So when we're talking about indices, like we're talking about all of these major companies. And let's say you're like, man, well, Javon, I'm really into tech. I really want to know what's good about that. Is that a profitable thing to invest in, or trade? Like, is it worth it? And different stuff like that. I would say absolutely. Because when we're talking about those companies, right? When we're talking about that, I want to pull up something, just so you guys can get some insight on that, right? Hold on one second. So when we're talking about the NASDAQ, we're talking about the technology companies, right? So we're talking about the top 100 tech company. Well, not even tech company. They don't even got to be tech companies, right? But a lot of them are involved with like fintech. A lot of it is involved with a lot of different stuff. Like it's a lot of tech companies in there that you guys can definitely profit off of, but it's not limited to, right? I use the NASDAQ for that very reason, like Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, and different stuff like that. So, but anyway, it's all indices. You guys get what I'm saying? Like it's all indices that you could come in and you can really hone in on and really make some huge decisions, right? So like I said, this index is like heavily concentrated with technology companies, but it also includes other companies. But the main thing is tech companies, right? So those are like the top 100 that you can do. So indices are a great thing that you can do. Even the Dow Jones, stuff like US 30, different stuff like that you guys could come in and really gain some serious money off of, right? You just gotta do your research on indices and do your research on this stuff. I'm telling you, you can be very profitable with it. Now, the third thing, right? A lot of people don't really think about this, but the third thing that you can trade and invest in is commodities, right? You can do commodities as well. What is a commodity? Right now, let me go to the source, because I don't want to, I could say my language, but I want to give y'all a politically correct answer for this, right? So what are commodities? A commodity is a basic good used in commerce that is interchangeable with other goods of the same type, right? So what are the three types of commodities? You have agriculture, you have energy, and you have metals, right? So what does that really mean? You can trade or invest in oil, you can do silver, you can do gold, you can do coffee bean, you can do wheat, like you can do all that different type of stuff. You can do corn, you can do all this different type of stuff, right? You know, when I was looking into it way back, I remember they were saying like coffee is the second most traded commodity outside of water and like oil. So between water, oil, and coffee, and gold and silver, those are some great commodities that you can trade or invest in, right? Why? Because I look at that as God's money, right? I look at commodity as God's money. There's no evidence of man making it. The only person not person, but you guys get what I'm saying. God made that type of agriculture, energy, and metals. He made that from existence. So when we're looking at that, we're looking at something that is promising, something that is tangible, that you can touch, which makes it a great asset. Like when Ukraine and all of them was going through, Putin was doing what he was doing, right? Oil was skyrocketing, right? Oil was going like we was reaching, we passed $100 a barrel, all that different type of stuff. So while the ruble was going down, which is Russia's currency, right? While that was dropping, right? Oil was skyrocketing, right? And we seen that happening. So when you start to understand the market and you start to understand the news and what's going on, right? You start to really dive into different areas of the market that you can become profitable with. Like every time, like the foreign exchange market might not be good that day or a week, but you can still trade the commodities, right? You still can trade the S&P 500. So when you start talking about, hey, listen, I want to make money in the market, I want to trade it, I want to invest in it, the market is huge, family. So you have to pinpoint and really zone into what specific industry do I want to make my money in when it comes to trading or investing in it? Do I want to make my money trading money, right? Currency. Do I want to make my money trading companies, right? Do I want to make my money trading commodities, right? Silver, gold, oil, like different stuff like that. So you have to decide which one fits your style. Now, the other question is this, and we're going to wrap it up. But, a lot of people say, well, which one is better? None of them, right? They're all equal in my eyes. The reason why I say that is because they're all profitable, right? Every single market is profitable. So when you see every single market is profitable, that's a good look, because it has everything to do with you, right? What is your goal in the market? What are you looking to get out of it? Are you a compound trader, or do you just want to get in and out? Like, what type of person are you? Or are you a swing trader? You want to be in trades for a week. You want to be in trades for a month or even a year. That has everything to do with the person. But in my opinion, all markets are profitable. It depends on the trader or the investor that understands and is knowledgeable of the market that can get them to becoming a profitable trader or investor. So guys, I want you guys to focus on that more than anything. So I just wanted to bring this out here for you guys to understand that, hey, listen, there are markets out there that you can become profitable in, and you can definitely get that insight. So I just wanted to share what's the difference of those things, right? What's the difference between the foreign exchange market, the indices, and the commodities? So guys, really go out there and dominate. For you people that know, you already know, if you need a mentor when it comes to trading, I do 101 trading, meetings that I do, trainings with people who are serious about it. And I have a course for those individuals who want to learn how to trade as well at their own time. So guys, listen, man, let's get this knowledge. Let's become profitable, and let's really take this thing to the next level. We are living in the best time right now where you can literally put your head down for 6 months and get busy on a skill set and just multiply your money. throughout the board. And it's like, even if you don't become profitable within your first year, focus on the knowledge that you're gaining, and that will surpass any amount of money that you will ever get. Because if it all goes away, at least you know how to get it back, right? And that's the most powerful thing, right? The Bible says, in all thy getting, get an understanding. So this is a great way to get an understanding of money, is to become a trader, become an investor, and really see where your mind can go when you start to see how money really works. So with that being said, family, listen, I love you guys, and I will see you on the next episode. Let's get it. Yo, what up, Kingdom family? Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Listen, I want you to hit up the block, hit up your job, hit up your family, your campus, your friends, whatever the case may be. Send them this episode. Let them know what we got going on, and I will see you guys on the next one. Let's get it.